We are live. Welcome.
Live.
Buffy. Yes.
Hello, everybody.
Hello. We have got a packed chat room. Thank you all for joining us on this, second.
Hot June 23rd?
Yes, right. Pretty warm around the country. It's not too bad here, but most of the country I know is blazing.
Yeah, we're in bad shape. And up into Canada even.
Yeah.
All right. Well, nobody's given me... Alan, do your job here. You're here.
Alan.
Bring it. Come on, what do you do, Alan?
Alan, do you remember your job? I know it's been a while, but let's see if he can pull it out. No, I got the recording, thank you. But we're talking about another job.
Roll call. You're supposed to tell us to do roll call. All right, well, I'm going to do roll call anyway. There it is.
There we go.
All right, we got Alan and Seamus and Kevin and Dave and Frank from Japan and Mike and Jill and Ed and John and Sandy and Steve and Zoe bringing the bacon. Do we have anybody in the sidebar, you think? It's always hard to tell.
Yeah, let's see.
Remember Nuclear John? He hasn't been here in a long time. He's playing Final Fantasy 14 now.
There is a widget bot connected. I don't know who that is.
Yeah, you're out of shape, Alan. It's been a while.
That's all right. We forgive you.
All right. So I'm not actually going to be doing that much recording of my own voice because I have other content.
Let me just say one thing. Thank you all who have sent in your input for Allison's 1000th episode, which is in 2 weeks from today. Today is the last day, and it's because we're on vacation. We'll be away with the family and the kids for much of that time, so I need some time to pull it all together. Sandy's asking how many have there been? 31 so far, and today I will continue taking them, but after that I don't know if I can. Sorry if you can't get it to me before then. But anyway, I appreciate it. Really great inputs. We got a lot of people who appreciate what you do, Podfeet.
Well, that's nice. I'm not going to have to talk at all in that episode then.
Probably very little.
Mike says, say for all the reminders, some of us need more than others.
Yes,
no, you're a spam machine, Steve.
I did send out a few reminders, but I stopped. I stopped Friday or Saturday.
He's got this big old spreadsheet going, and it was so fun. I got to show him how to make a pivot table to solve a problem that he had.
It really helped me, too.
And then he was color coding by hand. I was like, oh, my gosh, you got to do conditional formatting, Steve. Gave him that one for free.
Yeah, it's fully automated now. Not the process of pulling the audio together, but documenting the inputs I have and grouping them.
Yeah.
It's automated.
Wait a minute. I need this. Where's the... Hang on. Original audio. That's Typora. Intro and outro. Yeah. Okay. It's going to be complicated what we're doing here. So, Zoe. Well, you've got... how many more hours does Zoe have to send in a recording if she wants?
Well, yeah, technically about 7. But I think it's pretty late her time. If she's in where I think she is. Right.
All right. Let me go ahead and get started. So things are getting really complicated here. The next show, there won't be a live show a week from tonight because we will be on vacation. So the next show is coming out on Tuesday. So I've got 2 shows coming out in 2 days. I'm not stressed at all. It's going to be great. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started here. Hi, this is Allison Sheridan of the NosillaCast podcast, hosted at podfeet.com, a technology geek podcast with an ever so slight Apple bias. Today is Sunday, June 23rd, 2024, and this is show number 998. Well, Steve has been getting a lot of great things, apparently, great recordings from a lot of people about our 1000th episode coming up. He's not letting me listen to them, and it's killing me. But if you haven't already sent one in, it is too late now because today was the deadline. And he's got a big old spreadsheet going, and he's having all kinds of fun listening to these. So very much looking forward to hearing what people said. I do want to remind you before I get too far stuck in that there will be no live show on Sunday, June 30th, because we will be on vacation. So you're going to get a show in about 2 days. Hopefully in 2 days, should come out on Tuesday. And that's why there's no show next Sunday. All right. Oh, the last day you could have been here? I can't believe Sandy's going to miss the 1,000th episode.
Well, I think it'll be recorded.
It's not the same. Stop coming on the live show next week because Alice and Steve will go away. There we go. All right. Well, that's one way to do it. Okay. Come on. Oh, yeah. We've changed. We've got all kinds of cool animations or AI generated images for chapter marks and such now.
I think we got the message, Alan.
Yeah.
We're good on that. NASANet, John asked us where we're going. We're going with the family to Hawaii.
Yeah. All them.
Well, yeah.
All them.
Not the extended family, but the kids and grandkids.
Well, it's enough of them. 12 of us? Well, and
11,
Pat.
11. Well, yeah, 11 and Pat, 12. Right.
All right. Going to do a little
It will be
recording
fun.
here. Yeah. Listener Kim wrote in a fun little contribution. She said, I was listening to your recent podcast as you discussed the upcoming iOS 18 features. Like you, Allison, I take many photographs a week and I often edit them to get rid of trash cans, telephone lines, waiters' heads over my shoulder, etc. I've been using this app, Touch Retouch, for many years now, and I've recommended it to all of my friends. It's even got a tab especially for removing lines, and it does an awesome job. It's inexpensive, and it fits itself right into my edit tab in my photos. Until Apple comes out with their version, this is a great solution. Thanks for all the great info in your podcast, Kim. Oh, thank you so much for the kind words, Kim, and the great tip, a good reminder. I am a huge fan of Touch Retouch for exactly this use case. I live where power lines are above ground, so nearly every photo I take on my long walks are marred by them. I've used Touch Retouch to remove them, and it works as well as you say it does. I immediately thought of the Touch Retouch folks when I saw the improvements in photos announced at WWDC. I suspect the dedicated app will still excel at some things better than photos, but normal people don't want to launch a helper app or even know how, so the photos implementation will be more useful to the masses. I also hope that the ability to autofill backgrounds will be better accomplished with Apple Intelligence. Thanks again for reminding people about Touch Retouch, Kim, and I put a link in the show notes to an article I wrote about it in September. I just noticed 2 typos in what she wrote. Let me fix my spelling. And she said her instead of there. There you go. Alrighty. Notability found. Oh, wait. Stay here. You live below ground? And let me go tell everybody about my new...
No, not under a bridge.
Kevin. In a sewer. Notability. There we go. Okay. One of the apps I'm passionate about is Notability. 8 years ago, I created a Screencast Online tutorial about Notability, and we've done several little update and tip videos about this great software. Notability has only become more and more capable since 2016, so we decided it was high time for a bottoms-up tutorial. But as I started mind mapping it out using MindNode, I realized it was far too capable to explain in just one video tutorial. So I'm excited that my Foundations tutorial on Notability was just published at Screencast Online. I was on such a roll, I also recorded Notability Advanced, which will be following in 2 weeks. So I think it was July 5th it's going to come out. I'm passionate about this tool, as you can tell, and it really comes out in both the Notability tutorials I just created. I put a link in the show notes to the full Notability Foundations tutorial at Screencast Online, and I've embedded the teaser video in the show notes as well. You can get a free 7-day trial of Screencast Online, where you can watch all of the current back catalog. But beware, You'll want to subscribe for real after you watch a lot of the videos. I never finished that post.
Oh, that's right. It stops right after real. Can you clarify foundation versus what, advanced? It's just basic versus...
Yeah, it was kind of a tough split, but in the foundations one, I teach how the tools work, but I only make my way halfway through the tools. I show how to do templates, but in the advanced one, I show some crazy stuff. Like you can write math equations and it converts it to LaTeX and makes it real equations. So there's some, and the other thing I taught in the second one was you can use it to record audio while you're taking notes, and whether you're typing or whether you're handwriting, you can go back and tap on the note where you wrote a note, and it'll play back the audio of what you heard when that was typed in.
It's coming back to me now.
Yeah, you've seen them both, but no, that's good just to remind people. But it's cool. Yeah. It's really cool.
Pretty powerful app.
Yeah. All right. Now some spam. More spam. All right. Why does it say Mac Voices twice? Shouldn't say that. Mac Voices, Mac Voices. And copy the link. This week, Chuck Joyner of Mac Voices asked me to come on his show for a series he does every year called Road to MacStock. He interviews all of the presenters about their upcoming talks, I think kind of as a teaser to try to convince you to come to MacStock. A few years ago when he had me on, I wasn't really very enthusiastic about my topic as I described it to him. As we talked about it, I explained my process of using mind mapping to storyboard my talks. Chuck observed that I was a lot more excited about mind mapping than I was about the topic I'd chosen, and he suggested I talk about mind mapping instead. He was right. I changed my topic, and it came out great. Now, Mike Potter, the fine gentleman who runs MacStock, was not quite as pleased since it was just a couple of weeks before the show, and he'd already printed up programs, and my topic talk was incorrect. Well, anyway, this year Chuck and I had a lovely chat where I explained both my presentation on the main stage during the show, that's on the weekend, and the workshop I'm going to be conducting on Friday. You can check out the video of Chuck and me chatting at macvoices.com, or, of course, you can subscribe to Mac Voices in your podcatcher of choice. Now, I don't know if it's live yet, but I know that Jill from the North Woods is going to be one of the speakers, and she was also on the road to MacStock, so look for that one too. If this gets you excited for MacStock, remember to use my coupon code PODFEET with all caps to sign up, and you'll get $30 off the price of a weekend pass or the full 3-day pass, which includes the workshops. I get $30 back too if you do. On the Mac Geek Gab, Dave Hamilton described MacStock as being like camp. And I think that's a perfect description. MacStock is summer camp for Apple nerds, and I hope to see you there. Ah, nuts. I didn't put the link in for, I got to do one little cleanup here. Yeah, I know. Something of Chuck's.
Is it the link for Chit Chat?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Just noticed that.
Let me go get it. All right. No, that one. And this one.
Jill says your interview is live. I assume you mean the one with Chuck? Road to MacStock?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I put a link in the show notes. Is yours?
Jill's? Oh, maybe she meant Jill. Oh, not Jill's. Okay.
Not Jill's yet. Okay. All right. This could be a lot of chapter marks, Steve.
Yes, it is.
I'm on my 4th chapter mark, and we haven't even gotten to the show yet.
Right.
Does anybody here subscribe to the Chit Chat Across the Pond feed in order to get Programming by Stealth? Other than Mike, because I know he answered already.
As opposed to going direct
to the PBS feed. All right. You do, Ed. Okay. You might want to subscribe to the PBS feed. There's a change coming. All right, here we go. Say that again. Does anyone subscribe to Chit Chat Across the Pond in order to get Programming by Stealth? Here we go. In Programming by Stealth this week, we've completed our series on the JQ language, and now Bart Buchatz brings us a two-part mini-series about the YAML data format. He takes us through the history of data formats that we've enjoyed, such as fixed width text files, comma-separated values, all the way through to JSON and XML. All of them had their place in history, but also had their downsides. YAML promises to be human-readable, yay, and computer-readable, also yay. Once we're bought into how YAML is the data format of our dreams, Bart explains that there are only two kinds of data, scalars and collections, and that collections can be sequences or mapping, and all of these data types go into a document. Luckily, this is all of the jargon we'll ever have to learn, and there are useful synonyms from other languages. For example, sequences are really just arrays. I found this lesson enjoyable and not too hard on my little brain, so I suspect you'll enjoy it as well. You can find Bart's fabulous tutorial show notes at pbs.bartificer.net, and of course, you can subscribe to Programming by Stealth in your podcatcher of choice. YAML sounds like a vegetable.
I fixed that
That
typo on
apostrophe?
Scalars. Yeah.
Thank you. I just saw that. All right, now where are we? Candied YAML. You want him to cover Jinja too? What is that? Oh, do you know about Miller, Ed? Okay.
Yeah, I think they make a light beer.
Miller is a really cool command line tool that you can just take like JSON and turn it into YAML, or a CSV file and turn it into a markdown table. It's really cool. I want a refresher on Fortran. I'll send you my master's thesis. Okay, so I think I need to do a little setup on this. Jinjos. All right. Ah, is that what I wanted? Nope, not that either. There we go. And copy link. Okay. I think, okay, intro and outro, I think. Let me listen to this real quick.
Physics nerd Graham here for a mini-series on a mega project I embarked on recently. For the NosillaCast.
Okay, I think I'm going to jump right into this. And that's his intro. And then we've got a lot of different folders going. Physics shorts. I think this is next piece. And then I got to don't let me forget to put the outro on afterwards. I think I may let you guys listen to this because this is pretty cool.
Is the outro from Graham?
Yeah, so I made him do an intro and an outro to explain what's going to happen next, because without it, you might not follow along.
All right.
He and I both know what's going on. Let me hear how this transition goes. Programming by Stealth in your podcatcher of choice.
Physics nerd Graham here for a mini-series on a mega project I embarked on recently. For the NosillaCast, I will go into the details of the 3 steps, talking about Typora for text, Audio Hijack and Isotope RX11 for audio, and finally Keynote as a powerful video content creation tool. I recently embarked on a project to create videos for the rest of the A-level physics course to go on my YouTube channel.
Fix one thing here. Hey, so you remember last week when I played something by him, it was, he had some really long pauses. I talked to him about it, and he worked on tightening them up for the next one. So he was well aware.
Tool. I recently embarked on a project to create videos for the rest of the A-level physics course to go on my YouTube channel, Physics Shorts with Dr. Shepherd, having done half of them a while back. I spent some time developing my process, so I thought I'd write it down and share.
Okay, there's one of those long ones.
Share. In developing my process, my goals were as follows. produce videos with clear, correct information presented in my style, with my structure for my students to refer to before or after my lesson, and to make them freely available to any student. Make the whole process relatively quick so I can feasibly complete the whole course. Ensure my written material is in a simple format that could potentially be fed into generative AI in future to produce new formats for students to consume as they wish. Record high professional quality audio and video. Create videos that could be edited if content needs to be corrected, augmented, or removed, unlike my older lesson videos. After much consideration, I ended up with writing notes in Markdown and LaTeX using Typora, since generative AI can pass both these formats, and they are lightweight, easy to type, and reasonably human readable. Recording audio only with Audio Hijack, since video required a permanent studio with camera, tripod, lighting, screen, as well as the microphone, and I needed to memorize what I wanted to say to make it look professional. Audio only just needs the microphone and the ability to talk from the notes, and Isotope RX11 to produce a final WAV file. Creating the video in Keynote, since it will be easy to update in future and produces extremely high quality output. I will go over my reasoning for each of these decisions. I will go over my reasoning for each of these decisions separately, giving you details on how to get the most out of them. For context though, my old process was making longer content I called lesson videos, and had me writing out full scripts in BB-Edit, recording the main audio in Audio Hijack, and talking head intros on a big boy camera. Playing the audio at half speed as I wrote notes by hand using Explain Everything on my wife's iPad, and then combining and editing it all on my Mac using Final Cut Pro, which took ages. The results looked great if I took care with my handwriting, but it was ridiculously lengthy, and going back to fix something, well, I never drummed up the energy. So, on to the new process.
He said he does those big gaps because he's used to teaching physics where he gives the kids time to sit and, listen and catch on. By the way, I asked him if he was in the UK and he said, no, I'm in Thailand.
The new process. With the new physics shorts, I decided I didn't want these to take over my life, so unlike my previous videos, they are not 5 to 10 minutes. They are 2-minute overviews or reviews, intended to be used alongside actual teaching. I've taught physics for many years, so I have a style and a preferred way to approach explanations. So I went through my scheme of work, the lesson order, so to speak, looking at the syllabus content, and I just wrote. I looked at lesson 1, opened Typora, and wrote out the key aspects I wanted to teach in my voice, but in bullet or note form. Since I've done this in the classroom for 20 years, it didn't take long. When I needed a formula, ChatGPT helped me learn LaTeX to do this, or simply provided it for me. I then edited the notes down to remove unnecessary waffle, because I can always waffle to my heart's content in the actual classroom, and I saved it. I then record the audio, about 2 minutes worth, in one take, doing a bunch of them in one session. For the video, I take my Markdown notes and put them in Keynote. I'll chop them up a bit, add images as needed and animations if they help, then export as a video which can be uploaded straight to YouTube. A couple of final niceties are that I'll create a thumbnail for each video using a standard format in Keynote, and I'll use Mac Whisper to get subtitles from the exported video. I could rely on YouTube's auto subtitles, but doing this myself allows me to make any corrections to technical terms easily and make sure the symbols in equations are correct, such as changing lambda being written out.
Oops.
To get subtitles from the exported video. Allows me to make any corrections to technical terms easily and make sure the symbols in equations are correct, such as changing lambda being written out to the Greek letter lambda. For the NosillaCast, I will go into the details of the 3 steps, giving a partial review of Typora for notes, my workflow for Audio Hijack and Isotope RX11, and finally describe how to use Keynote as a powerful video content creation tool.
Okay, now, outro. Don't forget the outro.
Outro.
Okay, thank you. Rockwell hardness test. I remember doing that. Okay, did that? That might have done something weird. Yeah, I think it did. Let me do the outro. Yeah, I thought it did. Okay.
Content creation tool. So stay tuned for my partial review of Typora next time. If you want to know more, you can always find me with the other Nozilla castaways on Slack. So head over to podfeet.com/Slack and say hi.
I'd give that a little more space.
Oh,
Since it's a transition kind of
Creation tool. So stay tuned.
it's supposed to sound like he said it all in one sentence, like he was
Okay.
just finishing it up.
Yeah, it's kind of a different topic, but
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, the AC is the AC still on or just finishing?
it's on. Do you want me to turn
But
it
it-
off?
Yeah. It's making a bunch of noise like it's doing that final blowout. But we sound like a bunch of old farts talking about, well, back in my day, we do punch cards, you know, and then...
What am I doing? Bring up the irrigation.
All right. I don't know. Can you guys hear the air conditioning? It's pretty loud to me. Was it still on, Steve?
Yeah, I've turned it off, but
Okay.
it'll take a few minutes to blow
Well,
out.
let me go ahead and actually let me get rid of outro after playing Graham. Well, thanks for that, Graham. And to the audience, I am super excited about all of the pieces of this. He's been actually sending me the scripts and recordings ahead of time, so I know what he's going to say on most of it, and I'm really enjoying what I'm learning from him. I'm especially looking forward to the final piece, which will be how he uses Keynote to make videos. So that should be really, really cool. I also want to give him a big thumbs up. I don't think anybody has ever given me better organized text files in Markdown, the images named and pointers to where they go in the file, and giving me the alt text to put into the images. And nobody's done it as good as he's done it. It's a beautiful thing to see. And the images are all high quality, large images. So the blog posts are great, and the text is great, and the audio is great, and I'm loving every minute of it. So stay tuned for next time when he's going to be talking about Typora. All right. There we go. All right. Now, what's next? What's next?
Ice.
Oh, I get to actually record something.
Mm-hmm.
This is exciting.
This
It's
is
the only-
kind of a long one. Well, medium.
Yeah, but it's the only thing I'm going to talk about.
Right. What are you at? 12. Oh, you're only at 12:46?
Yeah.
Okay.
With 5. It's a bunch of little spam. So his thing was like 7 minutes or something. So, okay. Let me go back to this folder and we're going to look at ice.
We've been here for almost a half hour.
This is literally the only thing I'm going to record.
I know.
Hush up. You're
I'm
slowing
not
me
giving
down.
you a hard time. I'm just noting.
Yeah. Oh, wait, you aren't giving me a hard time? What
Never.
exactly are you giving me?
I would never do that.
All right. All right, here we go. The AC's off. Save. Thank you. Now. I talked a few weeks ago about the bartender kerfuffle when developer Ben Surtees sold it to a company called Applause. While I've not taken up the alarm bells, many still remain skeptical of this new company that's taken over the app. You'll also remember that physics nerd Graham reviewed Hidden Bar for us as an alternative to Bartender. Well, this week I'd like to tell you about another alternative to Bartender called Ice. Jordan Baird is the developer, and he provides a couple of ways to get Ice. You can download it from his site, icemenubar.app, where you can download it for free. You'll be invited to, but not required, to give him a donation for his efforts. He also distributes Ice as an open source project through GitHub under an MIT license. This license allows others to fork the code, improve upon it, and even distribute it themselves. On the GitHub page for ICE, you are also invited to sponsor his efforts. If you end up liking ICE, please consider supporting Jordan's efforts. So let's talk about who ICE is for. If you're a hardcore bartender user like me and you use all of the features, including context switching and the secondary bar, making groups of menu bar items with their own icon, then ICE may be too limited for you. But I encourage everyone to try it out because it might do everything you really need in a menu bar item manager. Hidden Bar is a good little app, but after listening to Physics Nerd... frog in my throat. Hidden Bar is... Hidden Bar is a good little app, but after listening to Physics Nerd Graham's review and testing it myself, I find ICE to be more polished and with more capability in terms of styling. It's also under active development, with the latest release just 2 weeks ago, where Hidden Bar hasn't been updated in a couple of years. One of the things that freaks people out with Bartender is that it asks for screen recording permissions. Ben went to great lengths to explain why that privilege was required by Apple for him to be able to do his magic, even though he's not actually recording the screen. Like Bartender, ICE requires screen recording permissions. Jordan specifically says in the request screen, ICE needs your permission to apply custom styling to the menu bar. ICE does not record your screen. You're going to hear about custom styling later that it's much like what you can do with Bartender and which you can't do with Hidden Bar. Like Hidden Bar, ICE separates your always shown from your hidden menu bar items using a little chevron that points to the left. Using the standard method of holding down the command key to rearrange menu bar items, you can drag the ones you want to see all the time to the right of the chevron and the ones you want hidden to the left. This chevron separator is also a menu bar item, so you can drag it left and right too with the command key held down. Now, Hidden Bar had a problem where the separator disappeared into the menu bar, but ICE doesn't suffer that problem. After I organized my menu bar items a little bit with ICE, I just happened to right-click on its menu bar icon to do something else when I noticed in the drop-down menu an option to show the Always Hidden section. When I selected that option, a second chevron separator appeared at the far left of the menu bar. I was then able to command drag any menu bar items I simply never wanted to see over to the left of that chevron. Now, Bartender has 3 sections too, but you have to drag the menu bar items into 3 different sections in the settings pane. It works, but I actually like the way ICE does it even better. Now that we've got things organized a bit, let's take a look at the settings of ICE and see how it'll allow us to tailor it even more to our liking. On the General tab, we can choose an icon for ICE, and there's a bunch of cute ones built in. On top of that, you can even choose your own image for ICE. I changed mine to Podfeed as a test, but the high contrast black icons ICE offers you are easier to see than my little orange feet. Stay tuned because there's going to be something about that a little bit towards the end. Now, since ICE is hiding a lot of icons, we need to tell it how to reveal them to us. In the general settings, we can choose to click on an empty area of the menu bar to show hidden items, or simply hover over an empty area to have them revealed. If neither of those suits your fancy, there's an option to scroll or swipe across the empty area to reveal your menu bar items. You swipe from left to right to get the menu bar items to fly out to the left. You put them away by swiping back to the left. It seems sort of backwards, but it works. Once you've chosen a method to reveal your hidden menu bar items, you repeat the same action to hide them again. You can choose to have them automatically rehide, and with that toggle turned on, you get a new dropdown for the strategy you want ICE to use in order to hide them. The first strategy to choose... The first strategy... That's my first real mess up there. The first strategy to choose from is a smart algorithm, and I honestly don't know what rules it follows. You can also choose timed, which reveals a slider for how long you want it to wait before hiding from 0 to 30 seconds. I tested it at 0 seconds, and sure enough, it disappears instantly when you pull your cursor off the menu bar. Finally, you can choose to have the menu bar automatically rehide when the currently focused app changes. Nope.
So mine says changes.
Does it?
Yeah.
Huh. Uh-oh. I wonder if I didn't refresh.
When the currently focused app changes, right?
Yeah. Huh. Or was that just with my mouth? Where am I? I lost my way. Yeah, no, I just said it wrong.
Okay.
Finally, you can choose to have the menu bar automatically re-hide when the currently focused app changes. Interesting option, and it works as advertised. As I worked my way through all of the settings, I took a pause to see if these settings for ICE were accessible. With one exception, I found that they were accessible. That one exception was a tint slider that we'll talk about in a moment. I suppose if you're a voiceover user, you might not care that much about changing the tint, but sliders are pretty easily made accessible. Then I got curious about how one would arrange menu bar items with voiceover. I couldn't figure it out on my own, so I asked for help on Mastodon, and Robin Kipp responded. I want to give you his full response because he was very kind after I explained I was a low intermediate doing my best to test apps for voiceover. He wrote, "As a blind voiceover user, I first of all want to seriously thank you for doing this. Doesn't matter, honestly, if your experience using voiceover might be limited, as long as you test what you can and keep an open ear for user feedback on accessibility issues. That already goes a super long way and is significantly more than what some other devs and companies out there are doing. Great job." Unfortunately, it's true, there is not a reliable way of rearranging status menu icons using voiceover. However, it is possible to navigate to all of the icons which are in there by pressing the voiceover keys, either Control Option or Caps Lock, plus the M key twice. That will move voiceover focus to the first icon. You can then navigate through the various icons by pressing voiceover plus right and left arrows and activate the focused icon using VO space. Hope that helps. Well, I appreciated his words of encouragement, and I was also truly surprised to find that Apple doesn't let voiceover users rearrange menu bar items. Using the keystroke combinations Robin gave me, I discovered an advantage voiceover users have over the rest of us. Remember, the whole point of Bartender and these other alternative apps is to help us deal with too many menu bar items. Well, guess what? Voiceover users get to hear all of the menu bar items, even if there's way too many to be seen, because they're hidden under the applications menu on the left, but VoiceOver doesn't care. It can still see them all. They're there for VoiceOver to find. Isn't that nifty? Well, it's kind of funny. While ICE is nearly completely accessible, it solves a problem blind people may not need. And since they can't rearrange things with VoiceOver because of missing capabilities in macOS, they really won't care. It was still fun to learn about. All right, back to learning some more about the settings in ICE. In the most recent version of version 5 of Bartender, Ben added some really nice visuals to our menu bars. Jordan appears to have borrowed the new aesthetic elements heavily from Bartender, or maybe was it the other way around? Anyway, let's go through what you can do to tailor the look to your desires. You can add a tint to the menu bar with either a solid fill or a gradient, and you can add a shadow to the menu bar. I really like a contrasting tint on my menu bars with ICE and with Bartender. You can add a border of varying thickness, but I find this gives the menu bar kind of a coarse look to it. But if you like it, you do you. One of the coolest visual effects in Bartender and in ICE is the ability to split the menu bar and shape the two sides. Splitting the menu bar gives you two distinct menu bars, one on the left for the apps menu, and then another one on the right for all the menu bar items that are normally over there. So you get two separate menu bars. In ICE, once you split the menu bar, you can choose the shape of both ends of the menu bar. You can make either end squared off or pill-shaped. And I like to have the split menu bar with a pill shape on both ends with that nice gradient and the drop shadow. Really looks nice. Now I'm going to skip over hotkeys and settings because it'll make more sense if I walk you through the advanced settings first. The first advanced option hides application menus when you show hidden and or always hidden menu bar items. This feature collapses the active apps menus down so you only see the Apple icon in the upper left. This makes it more likely that you'll be able to view the menu bar items you need on a small screen. On my 14-inch MacBook Pro screen at its default resolution, boy, frog in my throat. View the menu bar items you On my MacBook Pro, thank you. On my 14-inch MacBook Pro screen at its default resolution, I was able to see 42 of my 44 menu bar items all at once when the left side was collapsed. I normally keep 8 of those always hidden, and a lot of them hidden except when I need them. It was around this time in my testing that I realized ICE has one weakness, and it's multiple monitor support. We're going to hear about this in a moment too. As I started modifying settings, like hiding application menus, the graphics got messed up in different ways on my internal and external displays. The menu bar got too short vertically to hold the text on the internal display, but too tall on the external display. As soon as I unplugged my external display, the internal display looked dandy with ICE. That's where we really need ICE to perform well, so that's good, but having janky displays of your menu bar items when you plug in a big display is still a problem. I think I found a solution to the problem, though. In display settings for a given display, you see just a few standard resolutions, but you can also select Show All Resolutions and see even more. In the standard list for a 14-inch MacBook Pro, you'll see the default of 1512 by 982. But in the longer list, you'll see 1512 by 945. That's 37 pixels shorter in height. As it turns out, the notch is 37 pixels tall. So if you choose 1512 by 945, you will not have a notch on your screen. As soon as I changed my internal display to 1512 by 945 and the notch disappeared, both displays' menu bars managed by ICE returned to normal. Sounded like I'd found a wee bug. Since ICE is an open source project, it's super easy to report a bug in the GitHub repository under Issues. You don't even have to find it yourself because ICE includes a button to report a bug on the About tab of settings. You'll also find a support button to send some financial love. Now, still in the Advanced tab, you can choose whether to show the section dividers, those little chevrons that mark which items are hidden or always hidden. The main advantage of turning the section dividers off is they take up slots that can be used for menu bar items. Remember, I can only see 42 of my 44 menu bar items on my internal display when showing all items. I would actually be able to see all 44 if I turned off the section dividers. Now, you don't really lose functionality with the section dividers gone because you can toggle them back on while you rearrange things and then turn them back off if you like. Finally, you get a toggle that will let you option click in the empty area of the menu bar to see your always hidden items. If it's hard to find an empty space, you can option click on the ICE menu bar item to toggle it always hidden. This feature works very well and predictably. Now that we understand the advanced settings, we can back up to the hotkey settings. You can record a hotkey to toggle the hidden section and another one to toggle the always hidden section. If you want to manually remove the application menus out of the way, you can assign a hotkey to that function. In my experiments, I found that the hotkey would quite reliably toggle off the application menus on my external, but not my internal display. Kind of weird. Finally, you can record a hotkey to toggle section dividers on and off.
You're still muted.
Should have stopped recording. Finally, you can record a hotkey to toggle.
Do I need to get you a
Cough drop?
maybe a rye?
No, it's not that bad yet.
All right.
Just gravelly. The bottom line is that ICE is a lovely replacement for Bartender, and it's free unless you choose to support Jordan's work, which you should. I still miss the secondary bar of Bartender, but hang on to that too. And I have to say the ability to make split menu bars with pretty rounded corners and a nice tint is quite pleasing to me with ICE. It's easy to arrange menu bar items, see hidden items, and even see always hidden items. Bartender doesn't let you see always hidden items on demand. You have to manually move them into the secondary or primary bar to see them. I like the way Bartender lets me make little menu bar item groups, like all of my cloud services under a tiny cloud emoji icon, but I can live without that if I have to. Remember, ICE is in active development, so after you push the support button for Jordan, maybe you can remember to always ask for enhancements. No, that's not what it's supposed to say. So after you push... Remember, ICE is always still in active development. Remember, remember, ICE is in active development. So after you push the support button for Jordan, remember, you can always ask for enhancements. If you like what you've learned about ICE, check it out at icemenubar.app. Now, after I finished this review, writing it up, I posted in the discussion area of Jordan's GitHub repo for ICE to tell him about it, and he responded with some really interesting comments. After saying that he liked the review, he said, "The display bug you mentioned is sadly one of the more common issues. I may have come up with a fix for it, but unfortunately I can't test it myself as I don't have a MacBook with a notch. The bug doesn't occur without one." Then he said, "As mentioned in your comments, there is a beta available that has a secondary bar, although be prepared for some bugs." On a final note, if you choose a custom image, you can actually have it display as a monochrome image as if it were a default icon in the menu bar. You just have to check the option to use template image. Maybe it could use a better name. What I really like that he did in his letter back to me is he showed me a monochrome pod feet in his menu bar. How awesome is Jordan? Isn't that cool?
So just a minor little thing in the figure in your blog post that normally your titles are within the box in italicized. Yeah. This one, the second to the last
picture?
Is not.
Use template image to be monochrome?
Yes. Look
Oddly,
at what I put in the
like
chat room.
Oh. Interesting. It is inside it to me, but the box is a weird size. And the text is red. What is different about that? Let me see. There's nothing different about it.
Okay, maybe the way
are
you looking at Mars Edit?
Yeah, it does look different. Oh, I found it. There's a missing enter.
Okay.
Did I change anything else in the text? Let me just send it to the blog. All right. So now we are at 26 minutes. What's that?
That looks good now.
Okay, good. We're at 26 minutes, and we have the Sony over-the-counter hearing aids.
Mm-hmm.
I think I should do it.
Yeah, they're starting to get a little stale. It was 6 months ago.
Oh, hush. I've been milking them.
Yeah.
Copy link. I just love having content. All right, here we go. Should I just throw it in there? Let's see how the transition sounds. This is Jordan. I'm with Lauren Reynolds at the... I should probably say this is an interview from CSUN. All right.
Yes.
Oh, this isn't 6 months ago. This is CSUN.
Oh, you're right. I was thinking...
We finally finished. Okay.
Well, okay, 3 months ago.
Let's switch gears and listen to another interview from CSUN's Assistive Tech Conference. Another. All right. Tech Conference. I'm with Lauren Reynolds. Okay. And go to the end of that. And then now it's time for Support the Show. I wrote something funny this time. I'm running out of new ways to say, give me money. Remember when people did Honda Bob ads for us?
Yeah, right. I think they stopped doing them once Nightwise submitted that
he broke
that
it.
creation.
He broke it. Sometimes it's like how, what was that song on TikTok that was, everybody was singing it, but then...
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan Reynolds and
Will
Ferrell broke it by doing it best. What was the song? I can be brown, I can be blue, I can be violet too. All right. Sony. Oh, no, I got to record. Here we go. Shut up and take my money. There you go. Hey, did you recently put on an old pair of jeans and discover $20 you'd forgotten about in your pocket? Maybe you could go over to podfeet.com/Patreon and pledge $1 a week of that money to help support the work we do here. Sound good? How's that? That's about the fastest ad anybody's ever done. Security bits, jingle. Security bits.
This is for Alan.
He really wanted this, right?
Yeah.
I put on my wife jeans and found a 50.
Whoa.
Huh. That's exciting. All right. Option T. Option T. Get rid of Bart on my side. Get rid of me on Bart's side. Slide it up. Line it up by the eye. Play the plink for Steve.
Blink. There you
There
go.
you go. All right. Let's see how this lines up. No, you're supposed to select both. Okay. This is where I think a curved display would be better. For me to see this lined up, I got to go horizontally like this.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're complaining your monitor's too big, Allison. Okay, let's see how this sounds. Sound good? Well, it's that time of the week again. It's too long.
Touch.
You weren't listening, were you?
Try it again.
I knew you weren't listening.
I
I do it for you.
Go ahead, do it again.
Well, it's that time of the week again.
That's
It's
good.
time for Security Bits with Bart Bouchatz. What fresh new horrors do you have for us today?
I think we're low enough on horrors. We have a really nice deep dive.
Oh, good. That's
I won't
fun.
say we're free of horrors.
I
That
don't
would
see
be a
fire
lie.
extinguishers.
This segment would be cancelled if that was true. But we do nonetheless have some stuff to get into. Now we have loads
You
of
know, I
little
love me
bits
a
of
deep
follow.
dive.
Well, that's why I kind of do them, and I like doing them too.
All right. All right. And then I need to do a little recording at the end. So in the middle of this, I went on another rant about how I used to like passkeys and I hate them now because they never work right. And I get this pop-up asking me to scan with my phone, and it's like that's harder than using my using 1Password. So anyway. So I complained about that on the show, and so I need to record an addendum afterwards. But this will be why.
Sure, she could teach me anything she likes. I bet you she'd be very good at it.
All right. If that isn't a palate cleanser, I don't know what is.
Consider it cleansed. Thank you, Alison. And remember, everyone, until next time, stay patched so you stay secure.
All right. Here we go. Well, after Bart and I finished recording, I did a screen share with him where I showed him how borked up it was trying to use a passkey, especially, the example I used was GitHub, and that's something Bart goes in and out of all the time. Bart noticed on my screen that the 1Password icon on Safari had a lock on it, even though I had showed him that I had unlocked the 1Password app. He said they should stay in sync, and I agreed, they should. I'd noticed this problem quite a while ago, but I hadn't realized it was related to the problem with passkeys. I also demonstrated the pop-up asking me to scan a barcode, and he said that was Safari itself trying to help. He had me quit Safari, delete 1Password for Safari, download a fresh copy from the App Store, and guess what? Now passkeys work flawlessly. Just like they're supposed to. It just says unlock 1Password, you tap your finger, and boom, you're in. No putting in a username, no putting in a password. It worked great. Now, remember, I said they used to work? This explains why they stopped working. I am so happy now I had to share the solution. All right.
So on the end of your,
I got to take that off.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I need to actually change my text expander snippet now. Yeah. Let me do that before I forget, because I will do it expander. I will do it. Let's see. I think it's called end. End. Oh, come on. Oh, end with a semicolon. There we go. There you go. Take it out. There we go. Okay, so now that's fixed. All right. Oh, your passwords have been wonky too? That'd be great if that solved it. Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Did you know you can email me at Allison@Podfeet? What about the .com? Well, that's going to wind us up for this week. Did you know you can email me at Allison@Podfeet.com anytime you like? If you have a question or a suggestion, just send it on over. Remember, everything good starts with podfeed.com. You can follow me on Mastodon at podfeed.com/Mastodon. If you want to listen to the podcast on YouTube, go to podfeed.com/YouTube. If you want to join in the fun of the conversation, you can join our Slack community at podfeed.com/Slack, where you can talk to people like physics nerd Graham and all of the other lovely NosillaCast castaways. You can support the show by going to podfeed.com/Patreon or with a one-time donation at podfeed.com/PayPal. And if you want to join in the fun of the live show, you are going to have to wait 2 weeks, but then you can head on over to podfeed.com/live on Sunday nights at 5 p.m. Pacific time and join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCast castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed.
Do you want to modify that ending a little bit about in 2 weeks? Because that will be the 1,000th show. Do you want to mention that in 2 weeks, the live show will be the 1,000th show? It's up to you.
If you want to join in the fun of the conversation, you can join our Slack community at Podphase. You can support the show by going to podfeed.com/, but then you can head on. And if you want to join in the fun of, I'll try. C, B. I nailed it. And if you want to join the fun in the live show, you're going to have to wait 2 weeks. But in that 2 weeks, it will be the 1,000th episode. So you should come. And you do that by going to podfeed.com/live at 5 p.m. Pacific time on Sunday. And that's where you can join the friendly and enthusiastic NosillaCast castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Oh, we have a GIF. Let's see, what does it do? Wow. Nice, Alan.
Everyone's coming in with their.
We'll save them for next week.
Yeah. All right.
Sure.
Since you guys are doing that,
chapter mark.
I'm going to do this.
And stay subscribed. Castaways. Thanks for listening and stay subscribed. Make sure that transition sounds okay. At podfeed.com/PayPal. And if you want to join the fun in the live show, not quite as smooth as usual, but it worked. All right. Time to count some chapters, Steve.
Okay. It's going to be tough. Don't say anything. I have to concentrate.
I'm done. Hope I got the number right.
8?
I got 8. Okay, Alan, we got it.
I still don't see chit chat showing up in the blog post. Have you not uploaded?
I haven't
from
pushed
Mars
it.
Edit? Okay.
Here, let me send a blog. Did you count chit chat when you got 8?
I counted that one. Yeah, I did count it.
Yeah, I did put the chapter mark in here, right? No, I did not. Wait, we've got a miscount. Hang on.
Really?
Yep.
Oh boy.
Hang on. God, I am so bad at doing the security bits one. That is why we do it. So now.
Oh, you do support the show as one, right?
Yeah.
That would be 9. I didn't count support the show.
Why not? You've been doing this for a while, dear. Security bits, I think, is the most important one to mark because I'm willing to bet there are people who come for security bits and don't listen to my drivel. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 chapters.
Yep, that's what I have.
All right.
So you're not going to talk about the restructuring until when?
Gotta decide.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, I don't mind showing people the diagram.
Maybe get
but then I'll have to explain it. I could tease it.
It is just about 6.
I know. We have 1 minute.
I don't think
it's up to you
can do
guys.
it in a minute.
I don't have to explain it. I could just give them the tease.
Yeah, you could throw it in.
Where do you think it is?
Major feedback.
Tease. Yep. Okay, if you can follow the diagram, then you can know what's going on. Tease me, tease me. Tease me, tease me. No, that's a different song. I didn't check to see how that. Yeah, that's good. We did do that.
So maybe in one sentence, what is going on? Good
Can't
luck.
do it in one sentence. I'm getting rid of Chit Chat Across the Pond Light. Well, no, I'm not getting rid of it. The title is going to disappear. Chit Chat Across the Pond will become the only Chit Chat Across the Pond. So the light one won't exist, and the PBS one will be standalone. So PBS won't be inside Chit Chat Across the Pond anymore. But the Chit Chat Across the Pond audio is going to be in with the NosillaCast. So instead of a show that's 40 minutes, hour and a half, 40 minutes, hour and a half, it's going to be long shows every single week. And if you promise not to tell, the person I'm doing it with is going to be Adam Angst.
Yay.
So I think we will have Adam roughly every other week.
Cool.
And he wants to do it. He's excited. Isn't that fun?
Yeah.
All right, good.
And this change
yeah.
will probably happen after the 1,000th episode.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, don't tell anybody.
This is just
Restructuring
for the chat
Podfeed
room
Empire.
and anyone who's watching the YouTube video afterwards.
Yeah, I just the light thing isn't just it's too hard to explain to people why I have all these shows and this is inside this and this one's on inside that and shit had light
So it's a simplification.
yeah, not as simple as I wanted. I didn't want to have Chit Chat as a separate feed at all, but Adam wanted it. So since Adam's willing to do this with me, I wanted to make it what he wanted. So
And that will be the real tease is what are you going to do with Adam? Don't say it. Zip it.
what?
You're not going to are you telling them what you're going to talk about with Adam?
I don't know what I'm going to talk about with Adam.
Well, I thought I knew. Maybe I should tell you. You told me. I mean, in general. In
Well,
general.
I'm going to do what I already do. I always do with him. Oh,
But you haven't described what that is.
okay. Well, we got to leave something for the audience, right?
That's my point.
Okay. He's teasing you. I wasn't going
Right.
to. All right, everybody. I think it is time to call it.
Yep.
This was fun. I had a good time. We
Yeah.
will see you for the 1,000th episode, everybody.
Yeah. Please show up. We
Oh,
look
what tool
forward
for
to
the
seeing
diagram?
you.
That's draw.io, but it's also called diagrams.net. It's got a desktop app. It's got a web app. It is a web app. You can do it through the web. It's free and it's awesome. I
And you
think I
probably
did
have a blog post or two about it.
yeah.
In fact, you did a whole trade-off on these diagramming tools. Or,
Maybe. Let's see. Yeah. Yeah, here we go. Copy link here. All right.
there you go.
Yeah, that was a while ago. Oh, that's 2016.
Hmm.
Wow. I still use it.
8 years.
It's a good tool. All right. I got to start publishing this show, guys.
Yes, you do. Thanks for joining us, chat room. And we hope to see you in a couple weeks.
Yep.
Except
All right.
you,
Bye,
Sandy.
guys.
I mean, we'd hope to see you if you were available, but
Can't believe
we know you
Sandy's
won't
not
be.
going to be here.
Bye-bye.
She doesn't love us.
Did you want to say bye to Rose?
Goodbye, Rose.